The Winter Recreation Summit is taking place March 18th and 19th here in Mammoth Lakes.
Winter Recreation Summit is a effort to gather the community, to solicit feedback, bring stakeholders together throughout the community in order to refine and optimize the winter recreation experience in Mammoth Lakes.
There are several groups that are involved in helping to produce the Winter Recreation Summit here in Mammoth. The town of Mammoth Lakes is contributing their staff and their resources, as well as Mammoth Lakes Recreation, the United States Forest Service, the Mammoth Mountain Ski Area, and several of our community partners who have actively engaged in providing some resources and sponsorships to help produce the event.
Well, it's going to be a really interesting event taking place over the course of 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Friday evening, we'll have a great keynote speaker who Danna is going to talk about here in a little while. And Saturday will be filled with different tracks, we're calling them, or different subjects of discussion for people to check out. We're going to start the day Saturday very early, 7:30 a.m. with winter fat biking demonstration, and then bring it all inside at 10:30 at the Sierra Event Center.
Friday night, the 18th, we open the summit with a keynote presentation by Luis Benitez and Kenji Haratunian. Luis is the executive director for the Colorado Office of Outdoor Recreation, and Kenji Haratunian comes to us from the Outdoor Industry Association via the Outdoor Retailers show that he used to produce for them. Both of these gentlemen have been very active and involved in leadership capacities with this growing outdoor recreation movement that we're seeing throughout the country and the globe. And they're going to bring their expertise and insight to Mammoth and share with us what they've seen and actually offer up some ideas for how we here in Mammoth and the Eastern Sierra can start to engage in this sustainable outdoor recreation movement. The closing night session is actually Saturday night, the 19th, and we begin with a reception at 6 p.m. We've created a panel of interested parties and stakeholders from around the country who will be coming in and talking about the changing climate and how the Eastern Sierra is going to be able to participate in some advocacy efforts and mitigation efforts relative to the impacts of the changing climate to our winter recreation experience. So the panelists are going to include Chris Steinkamp, who's the executive director of the Protect Our Winters movement, or the POW movement. They are the leading snow sports authority in the country addressing climate change. We also have Tracy Lamb, who is the executive director for the U.S. Olympic Training Center that's located in Chula Vista, but it's Tracy's involvement with the International Biathlon Union and what he's experienced around the globe, particularly in the European countries, that he's going to bring to this panel. And then our own David Page, who is the advocacy manager for the Winter Wildlands Alliance. He's going to be sharing how his organization is looking to collaborate with other groups around addressing issues relative to the changing climate. So it's going to be a great panel and a great opportunity to learn about how these other efforts are taking place around the country and how we here in Mammoth can start to address some of these impacts that we're starting to see.
Well, this is a great opportunity as a local citizen to participate in a profound way and really contribute ideas that we can really synthesize and use in order to improve your experience. So whether you enjoy snowshoeing, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, we want to know about your experience today and how we can improve it for the future.
I also think that as our community and as our region starts to really pay attention to our sustainable outdoor recreation efforts, we can learn from the examples that others are providing for us out in the other parts of the country. And I think Kenji and Luis are going to be able to open our eyes to some of those opportunities and how we can start to integrate some of their practices into what we're doing here. Outdoor recreation is our economic driver for our region, and how we go about the business of providing a great outdoor recreation experience while minimizing our impacts on the natural resource is really important to us in order to sustain that asset that we have here in our region. So I think Kenji and Luis are going to share some really nice insight to folks on how we can engage with these activities and these movements around the country.
For any information that you're seeking, you can go right to mltpa.org, and you'll find all the information you need. You'll find contact information, all the information about the tracks that we'll be talking about, information on the keynote speaker and the panelists that will be participating, mltpa.org.
The Recreation Summit is free, but we are requesting RSVPs to help gauge participation. So we encourage the public to visit mltpa.org and tell us what sessions you're interested in attending, and let us know if you'll be joining us for the opening and closing night sessions.
Please come out to the Winter Recreation Summit here in Mammoth Lakes, Friday, March 18th, Saturday, March 19th. We hope to see you there. You can find out all you need to know at mltpa.org. Please RSVP to the individual tracks that are listed. We'd love to know that you're coming. Your participation will really be productive, constructive, and we really want to hear your feedback. So please join us for the Winter Recreation Summit.